in their ranks, wowing the world with his genius game. England, on the other hand, have been a much maligned team who've been booed, whose manager has had beer bottles thrown at him, a team that had bored their fans until the semi-final. But the transformation in this English side in the semi-final against Netherlands has given hope to its fans that they can in fact beat La Roja, who have been the best team of the tournament. Spain's back four. They will have to be extra alert when it comes to defense because England players like Phil Foden, Bukayo Saka, Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane are individual match winners and can create a chance out of nowhere. For England, they know they will have to not just get the ball off Spain, but also make sure Spain's winger, Nico Williams, and the wonder kid, Lamine Yamal, are kept under check by Kyle Walker and possibly Luke Shaw. Historically, England have fared better in their 27 encounters with Spain, securing 14 wins and 3 draws, including a 3-2 victory in their last meeting at the Nations League in 2018. Additionally, England have triumphed in 2 of their previous 3 European Championship meetings with Spain. However, Spain have won their past 3 major tournament finals. Let's talk about the Spain squad. Both Robin La Norma and Dani Carvajal have been key to Spain's defense throughout this tournament, but the pair missed the semi-final due to suspension. The expectation is that both will return in place of the 38-year-old Jesus Navas and Nacho Fernandez. Luis de la Fuente will remain without Pedri in midfield, but his replacement, Dani Olmo, is in with a shout of being the player of the tournament, quite remarkably, despite having started just 1 of their 6 games so far. There was a slight concern over Alvaro Morata after a security guard collided with him on Tuesday evening, but the captain is expected to be fine. What about the England squad? In the forward line, there are no changes likely. Harry Kane is joined with several players on 3 goals for the Euro 2024 Golden Boot, despite form and fitness concerns. And he should remain in the side ahead of Wednesday's match winner, Ollie Watkins. A final could be won. The final, in fact, could be won and lost by how well Phil Foden, Kobe Mainoo and Bukayo Saka can link up to hurt the left-hand side of the Spanish defense. Okay, let's also look at their road to the final. We begin with England. The Three Lions won just 1 of their opening matches, but still topped Group C, securing a place on the more favourable side of the draw. England beat Serbia 1-0. They drew with Denmark 1-1 and played a goalless draw against Slovenia. Gareth Southgate's side needed extra time then in the pre-quarterfinals to defeat Slovakia 2-1. In the quarterfinals, England needed penalties to overcome Switzerland, and they won that 5-3 on penalties. And then an injury time winner from substitute Ollie Watkins to edge out Holland in the semi-final 2-1. That's the best match that England have played in the tournament so far. Let's also take a look at Spain's road to the final. Spain, on the other hand, have dominated the tournament from the beginning, winning all 6 matches without requiring penalties, an unprecedented feat in the European Championships. Spain's journey to the final has seen them conquer tougher opposition compared to England, including victories over Croatia, Italy, Germany and France. In the group stage, La Roja beat Croatia 3-0 and then Italy 1-0 and Albania 1-0. In the pre-quarterfinals, Spain got the better of tournament debutants Georgia 4-1. And then in the quarterfinals, they ousted host Germany from the tournament 3-1 with a late goal from Mikel Merino. In the semi-finals, Spain got the better of Kylian Mbappe's France 2-1 to set up a date with England in the finals. Let's also take a look at Spain's top performers. Spain's top performers, top goal scorer for them is Dani Olmo. Who would have thought? Dani Olmo coming in place of Pedri. He's got 3 goals. Top assists then. The name there, a 16-year-old Lamine Yamal, 3 assists. And then he's also the player who's created most chances for the team. He's got 16 chances in front of his name. Really the star of this tournament, not just for Spain, but when you look at all the other teams as well. He has been the one player who stood out, and to think that he's just 16. Newly elected British Prime Minister Keir Starmer said on Thursday that English soccer team's win over Netherlands in the Euro semi-final was fantastic and that he backed them to win the tournament. So everybody, including England's Prime Minister, is celebrating England's victory over Netherlands and them reaching the finals. Listen into what he had to say.
Prime Minister, your reaction to the football last night?
It was fantastic. I managed to pop out from one of my sessions for just 5 minutes, which is when I saw Harry Kane get the first goal. I missed the second one, but it's brilliant. So on we go now. Great chance. I've always said this team we're going to go all the way. So I'm really, really pleased, and just good luck for Sunday.
Now, we spotted that last year you said that if the Lionesses won the World Cup, there should be an extra bank holiday. So if England win, do we all get an extra day off?
Well, we should certainly mark the occasion. I don't want to jinx it. I went to the last Euros finals. I don't want to go through that again. So don't want to jinx anything. We must mark it in some way, but the most important thing is getting it over the line on Sunday.
It is a huge moment for the English team and for the nation, as you heard the Prime Minister of the country saying that he was there for the last final and England lost that final to Italy on penalties. Now let's also listen in to Luis de la Fuente, the Spanish coach and manager, on what he has to say about the final.
I have hope, excitement to face a rival from such a very high and important quality with great footballers. And I think that we both arrived at a very good time. And as you say, the draw certainly invites you to witness a great spectacle and for the spectator to enjoy it a lot. We have quite different styles, but England also has very powerful team physically. They are players who enjoy having space and running a bit into open spaces. Well, we try to impose our style to have more possession, although, as I always say, we also have that option of playing on the counter-attack. But in a final, you also get influenced by other important aspects like not making mistakes. The feeling that you have of knowing there is a little margin for error, not wanting to lose and wanting to win. Well, there are many psychological aspects that can influence the development of the game, and we will try to be there to dominate all of them and to dominate all the aspects that have an impact on what is really important in the game in order to have that control of those situations at any point in time of the game.
The English team had a roller coaster ride in this tournament. They'd been ridiculed, they'd been booed, they'd been called dull, they'd been called lost souls. But just when their fans had given up hope, the Three Lions silenced their critics in some style as they put on a magical performance in the semi-final to beat Netherlands 2-1 in Dortmund. The build-up to semi-final number 2 was more about whether England can finally play an exciting game, with their top stars showing why they are the most sought-after players in different leagues in Europe. England fans had been bored into silence in their previous games, with either dull draws or winning on penalties. But just when it mattered the most, Gareth Southgate's men produced the most entertaining performance. But just when it mattered the most, Gareth Southgate's men produced the most entertaining performance of Euro 2024. England defeated the Netherlands 2-1 after substitute Ollie Watkins scored a stoppage-time winner to send them to their second successive Euro final. It was a memorable night in Dortmund for the English fans. With the match looking set for extra time, Watkins received a pass from their fellow sub, Cole Palmer, and fired a brilliant strike in the far corner. With that, all their insipid performances of the tournament were forgotten.
I said to Cole that he was going to, we were both going to go on the pitch and he was going to set me up at half time, and it happened. You know, I manifested it, and as soon as he turned, I knew to make the move, and you don't get that opportunity very often, so I had to be greedy, I had to take it, and I've just seen it go into the bottom corner. I don't think I've hit a ball that sweet before, obviously in such a special moment as well.
They say well begun is half done, but in England's case the start was far from perfect. With 7 minutes from the kickoff, Xavi Simons gave the Netherlands the lead with a stunning long-range shot. After receiving the ball outside the penalty box, Simons brushed off Declan Rice and scored his first goal for the senior team. But that lead was short-lived as England levelled when Harry Kane was caught by the studs of Denzel Dumfries as he shot, which earned a VAR-reviewed penalty. The decision was a contentious one, but Harry Kane, who had been under the scanner for his below-par performances in the tournament, didn't waste his chance as he drilled into the bottom corner to equalise for England. The Three Lions were close to scoring another goal 5 minutes later when Phil Foden went through a series of tackles almost to the line, but Dumfries was there to clear it off. While England dominated the game throughout, they were staring at another extra 30 minutes when Gareth Southgate decided to introduce Watkins with 9 minutes left. And that turned out to be the decisive moment, with the Aston Villa striker troubling the Dutch defence, eventually scoring the winner.
Harry took quite a big knock when he won the penalty, so we weren't sure how long he would be able to play on for. And him and Phil were playing well, but we were losing a little bit of energy on the pressure. Certainly we weren't taking Phil off because of his performance, but we have got good players on the bench. That freshness we felt could help us.
England have stuttered and stumbled in this tournament and will be the underdogs against Spain. But after the superb show in Dortmund last night, the belief has been reinstilled among the fans that this team can finally take the trophy home that has eluded them for more than half a century. Now, this is a fun story. A German police officer got more than he bargained for during his shift in Dortmund as quick-witted England fans discovered he bore a striking resemblance to soccer manager Gareth Southgate. The officer, who was on duty before England's semi-final victory against the Netherlands, was surrounded by supporters who serenaded him with the Southgate "You're the One, Football's Coming Home Again" song based on a hit by Atomic Kitten. The police officer took the unexpected chanting in good spirits, shaking his head and smiling while it was happening. Okay, moving on to Spain's campaign in the tournament. Now, Spain in this Euros will be remembered for the rise of a 16-year-old Lamine Yamal, who's lit up this tournament with his incredible game. Can't drink, can't smoke, can't drive and can't vote. But what he can do is beat one of the best defensive lines in Europe to score a goal for the ages in the semi-final. Yamal created history to become the youngest ever to score in a Euro or a World Cup. Take a look at how Spain and Yamal dismantled France in the semi-final on their way to the final. In the build-up to the first semi-final, the match was being seen as a contest between Kylian Mbappe's boring France versus the best team of the tournament, Spain, who had rolled over all their opponents in Euro 2024. France had been criticised for their defensive style, where they were unable to score a single goal in open play period throughout the tournament. Add to that, their skipper Kylian Mbappe was woefully out of form, and wearing a mask due to an injured nose had made things difficult for him and France. So Le Bleu knew they had their work cut out going into this game. In complete contrast, Spain had been the most exciting team with two young stars in Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams, showing the world that age does not matter when you've been blessed with oodles of talent. Playing for a berth in the final, Spain came from behind to drub France 2-1 despite conceding a goal as early as the 8th minute. In the next 17 minutes, France assured themselves of the match-winning 2-1 lead and the place in the final. In the next 17 minutes, Spain assured themselves of the match-winning 2-1 lead and a place in the final. Le Bleu did give their fans something to cheer about when just 6 minutes into the match, they took an early lead as Randall Kolo Muani headed in a cross from a maskless Kylian Mbappe. Yes, there was a surprise in Munich when Mbappe went onto the field without the mask he'd been wearing since sustaining a broken nose in France's opening group match. Mbappe had been complaining about the mask and decided to get rid of it. And it seemed to have worked as he created the game's opening goal in the 8th minute with a cross to the back post that was headed in by Muani. That was the first field goal for France at Euro 2024. But what happened just 13 minutes later will go down in history as the most pivotal moment of Euro 2024. A 16-year-old juggling homework and exams while playing for his country in the Euros scored the equalizer for Spain. Lamine Yamal etched his name in the history books as he became the youngest player to score in a World Cup or Euros. He curled a brilliant strike from outside the box that sailed into the top corner to leave the world in awe. Spain turned the match around completely in the next 4 minutes. Dani Olmo's goal-bound shot was turned into the net of France defender Jules Koundé. It was originally adjudged by UEFA to have been an own goal, but was later awarded to Olmo. A desperate France had their chances in the second half, but couldn't capitalize as Theo Hernandez and Mbappe both blasted shots over the bar from inside the box. Spain will play their 5th Euro final, and with the momentum they have, it will be a huge challenge to stop this Spanish armada.
Well, it speaks very good of himself because I think it happened during our worst moment of the match. We had just conceded and we were all working to revert the situation. In our worst moment, he scored an amazing and impressive goal, and I think that after that, the team grew a lot in the match. So, with no doubt, it was a key moment. Lamine has a very good thing, well among others, but he has a very good thing that within the joker he is calmed. I think that just as he plays, it's his way of being he's able to think, analyze and enjoy the matches. He's still 16 years old and he needs to enjoy. He's the first one aware of where he is and the responsibility he's got.
So as Spain and England prepare for the final, Walter, the Oracle orangutan, predicted on Thursday that it will be Spain who takes the trophy home. Given the choice between two identical bags hanging from a rope, Walter grabbed the one with the Spanish flag on it first. Only after he'd taken it off the rope did he reach for the bag with the English flag on it. However, once he brought both bags into his bamboo house, he ate all of the treats from the England bag first, and that leaves a bit of room for interpretation. Now, Walter's track record during the tournament has been pretty good, with almost all of his predictions coming true on the pitch. One of the predictions that didn't come true was his bet on the Netherlands over England in the semi-final that took place on Wednesday.
Today, for the last time, we are predicting here at the Dortmund Zoo for the European Championship final between Spain and England, and of course, it was very exciting. Walter came out, ran purposefully towards the Spain bag, which he also tore off first, then reached for the England bag. Then he climbed into his bamboo hut with both bags, and yes, he actually ate everything in the England bag first. So I would actually say that he was clearly betting on Spain, but of course, it leaves a bit of room for interpretation because he also ate everything in the England bag first. Walter predicted that Spain will win. That's my opinion, because he took the bag of Spain first. But then he went with both the bags, one from England and one from Spain, to his house there, and then he ate first things we put into the England bag. So I don't know, I'm not sure, but I think Spain will make it.
All right, from the Euros to the Copa America final, and the stage is set. Argentina will face Colombia on Sunday. They are the reigning World Cup champions, led by captain Lionel Messi. They will aim for their second straight Copa America title. Colombia hopes to win its second Copa America final and avenge its last defeat, which came against Argentina in February in 2022. It is riding a 28-game unbeaten streak into the final. All eyes will be on Messi. He's just got one goal in the tournament and fans had to wait 5 matches because he was missing due to injury to see it. He tipped in a shot from Enzo Fernandez in the second half in Argentina's 2-0 win over Canada in the semi-finals. Another tournament championship would be another defining moment in the twilight of Messi's career and his stint in the United States. For Colombia, it's James Rodriguez. He's been the best player during this Copa America. His 6 assists leading all players in the tournament. Colombia has scored 12 goals in 5 matches, including the deciding goal from a corner kick Rodriguez delivered in the first half against Uruguay to reach the final. Now, Argentina are tied with Uruguay on 15 Copa titles and will own the record outright if they beat Colombia at Miami Gardens in the final on Monday. This is a bit of disturbing news now. CONMEBOL, they've opened an investigation after Uruguay players clashed with Colombian fans at the end of their Copa America semi-final match on Wednesday. After the game, there were videos that showed what appeared to be Uruguay players wading into the stands to exchange blows with Colombia fans as police personnel tried to keep the two sides apart. Uruguay's manager Marcelo Bielsa said he did not see the incident as he had gone to the locker room. With a majority of 70,000 plus crowd cheering on Colombia from the start, Jefferson Lerma scored the winner after Uruguay forward Darwin Núñez had missed 3 good opportunities to put his side ahead. After the game, Núñez and about a dozen Uruguayan teammates went into the stands as fans brawled at Bank of America Stadium. Captain Jose Maria Jimenez, he said that players were trying to defend their families. Players and staff from both Colombia and Uruguay were also involved in a confrontation on the field after the final whistle. Well, those are scary scenes. An investigation should be done as to what the security arrangements were and why they weren't better, that players had to defend their own families after the game. With that, we've come to the end of this show. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. For now, goodbye. Thanks for watching.
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए और कमाना है तो खरीदिए। जानकारी, सलाह और निवेश सब एक ही सुपर ऐप पर। पैसे का सवाल है तो जवाब है मनी9। आजादी पैसे की, अभी डाउनलोड करें।
This is News 9 Live, India's only digital exclusive live stream. For the early adopters, bringing you the news 24/7. For the smart audiences on the smartest TVs. News 9 Live. Stream now on your smart TVs.
Two Chinese ocean research vessels, rather spy vessels, are again venturing in and around the Indian Ocean region. Reportedly, a Chinese vessel entered the Bay of Bengal on 10th July, moving past Campbell Bay. Another one is most likely entering the Indian Ocean region via the Malacca Strait. Just 3 days ago, Sri Lanka said that it would lift the ban on foreign research vehicles from 2025. The island nation had banned foreign vessels after India raised concerns over the rising frequency of Chinese spy vessels docking at its ports. Why should Sri Lanka's decision to lift the ban on research vessels worry India? News 9 Plus Decode. Sri Lanka has become a favorite destination for Chinese spy vessels to conduct research in the Indian Ocean region or to spy on India's missile tests. These vessels have been frequenting New Delhi's backyard, close to India's exclusive economic zone. In one of the rare cases, 4 Chinese vessels were seen in the Indian Ocean region simultaneously in March 2024. These included a satellite and missile tracking vessel, 2 oceanographic survey and research ships, and a marine resource survey ship. The presence of 2 of these vessels coincided with successful test firing of India's Agni-5 intercontinental ballistic missile with multiple warheads. Experts believe that the vessels were spying on our tests. How frequently do Xi's spy vessels visit the region? The alarming frequency is a cause of concern. In 2023, a Chinese vessel docked in Colombo port on 25th October after roaming freely in the Indian Ocean waters since 19th September. Instead of going straight to its announced destination, it sailed east to west and then north to south, taking 36 days to reach Colombo from the Malacca Strait. Before that, in April 2023, a Chinese missile and satellite tracking vessel was also spotted in the Indian Ocean region. This was when India conducted missile tests off the coast of Odisha and issued notifications for a no-fly zone in the area. 2 other Chinese spy ships were also spotted in the region ahead of India's PSLV satellite launch in July 2023. Is monitoring India's missile and satellite launches their sole mission? One concern is gathering of hydrological and hydrographic data, and that data affects the operation of submarines, seabed mapping, or can reveal areas where submarines can be located with little chance of detection. China is also mapping the Indian Ocean region seabed for polymetallic nodules which contain rare earth materials like nickel, cadmium, cobalt, etc. used in high-end electronics. To explore the ocean bed for these rare earths, a massive amount of data and a very high level of underwater domain awareness is required. That is what China is doing, it claims.
Cooking is an act of love. The first act of love we receive from our mothers in the families.
Modern Indian food is all about contemporary and innovative approach to traditional Indian cooking.
The presentation it's also important, no?
I want to wear this white coat every day and then be a chef.
There are stories. If the name a whiskey is Enrique, then there is a whole story behind that.
Cooking food is like a therapy, and eating one is like a pleasure I can give it to myself. With Lounge Nights, I'm on a journey to celebrate and recognize the best food and nightlife establishments in various cities across India.
Radico presents Lounge Nights, premiering every Saturday and Sunday, only on News 9 Live. This is News 9 Live, India's only digital exclusive live stream. For the early adopters, bringing you the news 24/7. For the smart audiences on the smartest TVs. News 9 Live. Stream now on your smart TVs.
Welcome to News 9 and you are watching on Point Between. Home Minister Amit Shah announced on Friday that the central government has decided to observe June 25th, the day the emergency was declared in 1975 as Samvidhan Hatya Divas. Samvidhan Hatya Divas will commemorate the massive contribution of all those who endured inhuman pain of 75's emergency, Amit Shah said. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also took to social media and said that June 25th will remind people of how the constitution was trampled. So both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Amit Shah tweeted this information out. People have been taken by surprise as to why the third tenure of Bharatiya Janata Party's government has chosen to celebrate Samvidhan Hatya Divas. And especially the word that has been used. There is no doubt or debate that emergency was a black chapter. But why today? But why today is an issue? Is it because that the constitution has become the biggest issue for Bharatiya Janata Party? Is it because the constitutional narrative has actually dented Bharatiya Janata Party in Dalit constituencies? Is it because that the Red Book has become a signature campaign to counter the narrative of the Prime Minister? Is it like what Bharat was to India before the elections? All these issues has raised a huge controversy. But before that, let me just play out the bite of Kiran Rijiju of Bharatiya Janata Party and then Manikam Tagore of the Congress.
संविधान के लिए ज़रूरी है और डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब B.R. अम्बेडकर जी ने जो संविधान दिया है इस देश को, उस संविधान का रक्षा करना हम सबका दायित्व है। और कांग्रेस पार्टी संविधान की हत्या करते हैं और फिर नाटक करता है, संविधान का कॉपी पकड़ के लहराने का नाटक करता है। ये बहुत गलत बात है। और जिन्होंने भी 1975 में जो जुल्म सहा है, उस समय का जो प्रकोप, जो कांग्रेस पार्टी ने टॉर्चर किया है इनोसेंट लोगों को, सिविल लिबर्टी राइट ख़त्म कर दिया है, फ्रीडम ऑफ प्रेस एक्सप्रेशन सारा ख़त्म किया गया था, वो दोबारा ना हो, इसके लिए बड़ा कदम उठाया गया है।
We all know that the BJP is rattled and they are unable to face the constitution story. We all know that when we named the India Alliance as India, they try to bring Bharat to peace. Now when Jai Samvidhan is an issue, they wanted to divert it from this kind of things. It's a diversionary tactics.